I guess on my hair, she look all right. And with that actually sitting there like this creams, and I had to have them, sis. All 5 of them. Here, I just had, we're gonna discontinue it, but I had to pick up their book of shadows, honey. Color grade makes cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Why so serious? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Torrence here, and in today's video, I'm bringing you a tutorial on the highly requested Trove palette. Baby, the day before yesterday, I posted a tutorial. I'll leave that link right here above for the Lure palette, and it has easily become one of my most requested and most watched videos of the year. So I had to get y'all part 2. I know you all were interested in seeing this because not only is it the smallest palette from the brand, but it's also the most expensive. So a lot of people were like, Torrence, we got to see your opinion on this. We need to know before we spend our coin on it. Is it worth it? And you know, I'm going to keep it open. I'm going to keep it honest. And I'm going to let y'all know about it. So if you all are a fan of Blend Bunny, you came to the right channel because I have every palette from them. And although I don't have a tutorial for them all up, I will leave them linked right here above for the ones I do have. But anyone we don't have will be coming soon. So if you would like to know my honest opinion on this palette, you're going to have to wait to the end. But if you would like to know how to achieve this beautiful look here, just wait till after swatches. Because this packaging does produce a glare, I wanted to hold it at an angle before I showed it off. This packaging is very reflective, and to me it has much more of an old gold color, not that bar of gold, yellow gold that I don't like. So we're going to try to see if you can catch it here. This is a multi-chrome quad. It has the name Trove written right there, and it looks like that's a lock and a heart shape, which is actually really pretty here. I want to make sure I showed it to you like this so you all can see what the packaging actually looks like, but you'll probably get a better view of it when I hold it back from a further angle. Once inside, we have 4 beautiful multi-chromes. The things with multi-chromes are you have to look at them from different angles to see their true hue. I want you to pay special close attention to that top shade on the right called Cove. Look at the way she shifts from that yellow to a green to a blue. You want to take and you tilt her back, and you can see how those different tones and different colors start to show themselves as you rotate the pans. And baby, they all are beautiful, but I know that one particular shade has my attention. But it's not until we get to see the swatches that we're going to enjoy the true beauty of these colors. And honey, look at the color shift on these bad boys here. These are multi-chromes, and I'm quite sure you all can see the beautiful shades and the shift that I'm seeing here. I'm trying my best to rotate my arms in different angles, catch it in different lightings, and baby, get into these. I'm not sure exactly what kind of look I'm gonna create, but I know it's going to be a beautiful one because these shimmers are stunning. I'm trying to see if I can catch my arm, different angles, different lighting, make sure you all are seeing the multi-chrome goodness I got. So baby, let's go ahead and grab our brushes because I'm already truly excited and I want to see what kind of look we're going to be able to come up with. Alright y'all, I'm not going to lie. Trying to keep up, but the love and the support has been undeniable lately. You all absolutely loved my last tutorial for the Lure palette. Not only did the tutorial go to #1, so did the swatches. So if you all want to see that, I'll make sure I leave this linked above. I honestly wanted to dip into this palette for a few mattes today because I believe in starting off a look with some mattes and then going into your shimmers. But for first impressions, I really like to use a palette by itself just to see what can you do for me with no additional help. How can me and you make something beautiful happen on our own? And so that's going to be hard considering this is all multi-chromes. And baby, I want to see if you all can see the way that this flips in the light. I know I showed you all earlier on camera, but look at this. And do you see how the color you see right there in the mirror isn't even the color that's right there underneath it? Like, baby, the way that these shift in the light is absolutely stunning. I cannot wait to get into them. But I'm not sure what kind of look we're going to create because it's like Torrence. They all beautiful. So, let's just get into it because I'm just excited, y'all. I'm telling you, I've been working really hard. You all see the videos have been coming every other day. I'm exhausted. I done missed so many hair appointments, but tomorrow we're going to get our hair done. We're not missing no more. We're going to do this last video for y'all. Enough talking. Let's get into it. Remember, all tools and products used will always be in the description bar below. So if I ever forget to mention anything, just check out there. But we got to dive in. So I'm going to start off with a transition shade with my largest, fluffiest blending brush. And this shade here, Dive Deep, we're going to use that throughout our entire crease, blowing her up as high as we can, as close to the brows as we can get it. The beautiful thing about this is I picked up just enough product, but to be on the safe side, because you know, we always like to tap off all our excess. I don't see anything flying. That's a good thing. But as a shimmer, I expect fallout. We're just going to start on our outer end and buff and blend her on up and out. And we're going to see what kind of color we get. Okay, I know I am seeing that in person. I'm not sure if y'all gonna get that multi-chrome goodness, but you know we're gonna stop and check before we go to the next step. She's buffing and blending out very easily. I can easily tell that I'm gonna need more than one layer to get full opacity, but with a large fluffy blending brush in a shimmer shade, that was truly expected. What I am loving is how right here up close, I can see that color shift, but I think I'm gonna have to go in and do one more layer to get more opacity so you all can see and enjoy that. So let's go in, see what she got going. Definitely more opacity. We're keeping our brush low into the crease so we can see most of that color and then slightly raising it now. Fuse those edges. Baby, I know a lot of people are going to be looking like, I know this fool did not do an all shimmer multi-chrome eye look. Honey, we ain't never scared over here. The only thing that scared me is a vivid orange look and a bronzer that ain't my skin tone, baby. Hoo-wee. Other than that, we going to risk it. And get into her. Do you see the way that color is shifting in the light? I know y'all can see it from right there. See how she looked more green in the front, more purple in the back, and I can see that blue that's translating in between the two. Oh, yes, man. Get into her. Oh, my goodness. Just wanted to do that one last time. We'll be back after we do this on the other side. To deepen up our crease, we're going to go in with a slightly smaller blending brush in this shade here, Mermaid Tears, and we're going to build that up. I just want to give this look a little more definition, and I think she's the perfect shade for that. Now this shade looks like she picks up a little more product, so this one we will tap her off. We're going to keep this the same way, starting off on the outer end as low as we can, and we're going to build this up into the crease. And instantly that color is coming off darker once you place it, and I'm glad I have my brush low because otherwise that could have taken over. We're going to build this up. I'm not expecting full opacity on that first layer, but looking at how much pigmentation she came up with, honey, I can't say, oh, I was about to say I can't expect. I can't expect it not to, but she's blending beautifully. I want you to see that there is a difference between this side and this side. You can see it's darker on the crease on this side, but I want to build her up a little bit more before I blend her out. And we are going to do a second layer of this just to see what opacity looks like. And because this brush is smaller, I don't think she's going to be able, well, she's not going to be able to take over our transition shade as long as we don't lift our brush too high. We're going to go in and get one more layer. I'll tap that off. Do it one more time. This time I'm going to keep my brush really, really low. And instead of diffusing this line, I'm going to keep it right there. I want it to be rather stark this time. Since we diffused it the first time, she won't look quite as harsh. But I want a clear space of definition so when we cut our crease, you can tell that's what we intended on doing. You see how dark that is down at the crease line right there? We want to keep that like that. Then we're also going to take our brush, I just thought about it, fill her up on one side, oops, almost didn't get enough, And we're going to pack this down on the outer corner. Baby, look at how beautiful she is when you pack her down. Oh my. Yes, ma'am. I don't even think I need to do 2 layers for this outer end. She built up just fine with that one. Okay, see y'all in a second. And you all just saw how I applied those first 2 shades with blending brushes, so I'm quite sure they would adhere. But out of tradition, I'm used to putting down a glitter primer down on my lids, so we're gonna keep doing so. Just gonna grab a little bit on the back of my hand, my handy dandy Morphe M421 brush. And I'm not necessarily worried about cutting my crease. I just want to be, what was I about to say? I want to make sure my lids are covered and my outer V isn't. We do not want to take away that beautiful work. We're just going to put this down. I like to get as close to my lids as I possibly can because I will forget that area, and then I work my way up. When I first got into makeup, I was so busy and so focused on making sure that when I cut my crease, it was right, that every other area will be neglected. You will have areas that have excessive amount of glue. Some areas didn't have no glue. And now we know to focus on everything. And I want to make sure I come up high, but I do not want to cover up that second shade Mermaid Tears or this outer V. With only 2 shades left, I want to try to save something for the inner corner and the lower lash line. So we're going to cover our entire lid with this shade here, Cove. This is the shade that's held my attention since I first opened the palette. So I want to put her all over the lid. Honey, get into that color on the brush. Like, she flips right before your very eyes, honey. Get into it. Let's just show y'all how beautiful this is, because I already know it's going to be there. Look at that. Oh my goodness. You see, I'm just packing her down. I want to see how far she's going to spread out before I actually have to just blend it. But baby, y'all know greens are my absolute favorite. And this color did not come to play. I'm debating on whether I want to go in and do a second layer just to see if she builds. But honey, I don't think I need her. Y'all see the ship? We're going to do it just to see if she does build. Just because y'all here, we went in with every other color just to check and see. Come on. Yes, ma'am. That shine and that opacity is intensifying. Yes, ma'am. Get into that. Get into that. Oh my God. Baby, I'll be right back. Alright you guys, this is all we're going to do for the top of the lids now. I'm going to cut away, finish off the face, and when I come back, I'm going to show you how we're going to finish off the lower lash line. Alright you guys, we are back and off camera. I've been having a whole lot of fun. Been playing with a couple things. A lot of these items are first impressions for me, so we'll get into it. Remember, all tools and product shoes will be in the description bar below if I forget to mention anything, so let's get into it. First off, for the second time, I am testing out the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. This is the shade 18W. I'm testing her out this week so I can bring you all a full review of her. So far I just want to keep my thoughts to myself because I don't want to spill anything for the video, but I did test out a different powdering method today just to see if that would change up the look. It honestly did, so I know that's a good thing that I want to bring to you all, but we don't want to spill the beans on that. For mascara, I'm still using up, and today we are about to finally throw out our MAC in Extreme Dimension 3D Black Lash sample. I've been using her. She's finally done. To the trash she goes. For blush, I wanted to keep things simple because I'm like, I don't need anything competing with the eyes, but I enjoy wearing blush. So I am wearing the shade Let's Go by the Lip Bar. This is in their Stay Ready face palette, and I want to open her up so you can see what she looks like. I believe I have the face palettes in like 2 if not 3 different shades, But you see, I wanted something nice and neutral, but something that would give me a little color that I can tell. Before, I had a love of eyeshadow, I had a love of blush, so that's why I wanted to pour her out. And today I was sitting back like, you know what? We need a highlighter, but instead of going with a neutral gold everyday basic highlighter, because I know I'm gonna wear that when I do the review for the foundation, I'm like, we already planned it up, we already planned it loud, keep it moving. So from Blend Bunny, I forgot I have the highlighter palette and Not to Lucid. And although I know she's a colorful palette and I know she's a shimmery palette, what I was shocked to see is how much I actually like her, because it says right on the front, highlighter palette. But once you told me she has reflective particles in it, it was like, guess we're gonna go to the eyeshadow palette drawer. Just no point of playing with it. But on the back, you see they give us, you know, which color is which. So I'm like, you know what? This middle shade here, Transient, she has a green tone to her, so does my shirt. So I decided to put her on as a face highlighter. And I'm not sure if you can tell, but she does have a nice reflective hue to her. The thing is, this has actual, I'm gonna say, I don't know if they're micro sparkles. I don't believe they're large enough to be considered glitter, but the website tells you that. I knew that going in, but I'm 50-50 on it, because I'm like, she's definitely pretty enough to be a highlighter. I think you're even seeing that on camera, but it's a small part in the back of my head that is keep telling me, Torrence, particles do not belong in highlighter. You do not like that. Every time you've tried it, it's just been straight up ugly. The thing is, this one isn't ugly. She's actually cute, but I still am not getting past that part of, Torrence, you prefer particles and sparkles in your eyeshadows, not your highlighters. So I'm not gonna say I recommend her. What I think I'm gonna do is have to do a full video for this palette as well. But today, for this particular look, she's serving. Last thing, lips, honey. I know y'all see those. Thing was, it was my mistake. I honestly thought this was a gloss. So I went in with a liner first. It wasn't until I pulled the doe foot out, I immediately realized this is a liquid lipstick. Both products are, once again, from the Lip Bar. The liner is in the shade Straight Face. This is their red. Because I thought I was going to go in with a red gloss. I'm like, okay, let's buff it up. Let's get her going. Then I went in with the liquid lipstick in the shade Touch Me. This was a collab with Slutty Vegan. I do believe this is sold out. So if you don't have her, you might not be able to grab her. But I realized I had never used her. Of course, I'm wearing the red shade here. But because this was in their larger tube, I thought it was a gloss, because their liquid lipsticks are usually in the smaller tubes. But as you can see, she is a bold, beautiful, beautiful red matte. So she's competing with the eyes, but she's not taking over. And I'm like, Torrence, before we can finish this look up, you still have a lower lash line you have to do. We still have to highlight our inner corners and our brows. And you know I'm not skipping those steps. So let's get back to our brushes. Oh my goodness. I'm just now realizing the one step I did not do was a lower lash eyeliner. I'm sitting here with them all right here in front of me, and it's like, oh no ma'am, I'm not gonna forget that. So, simply because y'all right here, and we're gonna just grab a blue just because we're here. I'm gonna use this blue here in the shade Goddess, just because she's a dark blue, and I'll be right back. We're just gonna put her on and see how she's looking. Okay, now that I have that liner on, I can admit she's absolutely beautiful. She's a really dark blue. It appears she has a black base, so from a distance, she may look black. It's not till you get really close that you see those blue reflex. She's gorgeous, but for me, with her being so dark, more than likely, I would just rather go with a dark blue or a black. So because this is one of my older liners, I think I'm gonna be able to declutter this as well, because I have at least 5 other blue liners from Urban Decay. So she's not necessary, although she's nice. But the only way we're gonna be able to finish off this eye look is to grab our brushes. And baby, I want to make sure we use all 4 shades in this look. So we're gonna come back into this. And what we're gonna do is use one pencil brush, 2 different colors on the lower lash line. We're gonna start off with the shade Deep Dive on the inner half because it's the lighter of the two. Then we're gonna come to the outer half with the shade Mermaid Tears and connect that to our outer V. And although we're not expecting fallout, we're still gonna tap off our brush and we're gonna buff this out on the front half Want to be careful. Start from the middle if we can and then work our way back. Well, up, I guess. And we just want to get enough to where this color shows up. Okay. Honestly, she's beautiful there. But I think I could have got a little more pigmentation with a smaller brush. But I did not want this to take over. Just going to go in one more time. Yes, ma'am. And I'm taking it a little bit past the halfway point because I know when I do the darker color, I can cover that point. Oh yeah, I think she's showing up on camera right there. Yes, ma'am, come through. And you see with this brush being so light and airy, it's leaving just a light color because I do not want my under eyes to be really dark. Now, we're going to pick up some mermaid tears, tap her off. And the thing is, we want to place this on the lower half, but we want to make sure we connect it to our outer V because that's the shade there, and we don't want there to be a gap here. So we're going to come to the side, start slowly, and buff our way up. We want to make sure it connects right here on the outer end, and then buff closer to that front shade, dive deep. Yes, ma'am. Baby, and that color is so pigmented, I don't even see me doing a second layer of that one. Look at that. And now it's my favorite part of eyeshadow, highlighting my inner corners and my brows. We only have one shade left, so we're going to use it for both spots. This shade here, Treasures Untold. Baby, she gorgeous, and the way she flipping in the light, I got to use her. So we're going to first load up our brush, put her on the inner corner. The rest of the product we'll just buff out underneath the brows. And baby, my brush is loaded and she looked beautiful the way she flipping in the light. So I want to make sure I turn this way so y'all can see this, and we're going to get her going. I'll press her right here. Boom, boom, boom. Baby, I know y'all see that purple right there. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And now for the remainder product, we're just going to take this and slightly start the buff right underneath the brow. I want to try to do this as sheer as I can get it so where the color will show up. I think y'all can see that. Oh yeah, I can see that purple from across the room. Baby, get into her. You see how I'm standing straight forward? She come off more gold. You turn, boom, purple brow coming through. Yes, ma'am. Alright you guys, this is all we're going to do for the face, but it ain't no point of doing all this work unless we're going to lock it in. So grab your setting sprays because you know I'm about to grab mine. And you all know the routine. Fix Plus to give us a glowy do. All-nighter so things will last all day. Cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. I'm going to give this a few more seconds to dry and I'll be back to give you all my final thoughts. And here's the final look. I want to go ahead, give you all the full face view of things before I give you all my final thoughts. And I'm here to tell you all, the look is absolutely beautiful. I don't think I have to tell you all, like, honey, get into those colors, get into that shift, get into that shine. Like, you all walk through the process with me, you all can see for yourself that these colors are absolutely beautiful. The thing is, in my opinion, unless you make a palette yourself, chances are she's not going to be perfect. Every palette has its pros and its cons, and I'm quite sure not only do you all want to know the pros and cons of this palette, you're also going to want to know if I recommend it. So let's get into it. First off, pro, the packaging. She's absolutely beautiful. She's reflective, she's shiny. You know, most times on camera, it's hard to get a good view of things with anything that's shiny, but from personal experience, I understand It is so much easier to clean something that has a shine to it than something that is matte, flat, or like the ABH palettes. You accidentally get some eyeshadow or foundation on one of those, you may never get it off. With something like this, alcohol, makeup wipe, maybe even a rag, you can keep it moving once you get it dirty and you don't have to worry about it. Another pro, once we get inside, you have multi-chromes. I'm somebody, even though I have hooded lids, so I love a matte to start off things, build up my crease. Once we get to the lids, the more sparkles you have, the more shine you have, the more you have my attention. Also, the more colors you can offer, the more you have my attention. Because when I first got into makeup, duochromes were the best that the makeup world had to offer, so they were my favorites. Once multi-chromes hit the game, it's like getting 3 shadows for 1. So if I'm gonna take the time and just pat, get it on my lid and keep it moving, why not get 3 colors instead of 1? But that's me. A lot of people, if you're not a big fan of colorful shades, multi-chromes may not be that for you. So, one of the cons, we gotta get into it because you know I'm gonna tell it all. This is an all shimmer palette. For many people, they like to go in, do their entire eye look, one palette, keep it going out the door. So if that's you, this isn't gonna get that for you. Another thing, we can't skip over that. For many people, one of the cons of this palette is gonna be the fact that she's $68 for 4 shades. For most people, they are looking at that like, that's luxury pricing now. $68? If I were to tell my sister, hey, let's go shopping, let's go grab this, and I was to tell her, grab that ColourPop palette, she wouldn't even mind because she knows they make good quality and affordable pricing. If I were to tell her to pick up something expensive as this, she don't wear eyeshadow enough for that to be, no. She gonna be like, no, that's out of my skill range, that's out of my price range. So this is something I would never be able to recommend to her. But if you are the girl who are comfortable with your eyeshadow skills and you've always wanted to test out multi-chromes, this is not a bad way to do it. So if you were to ask me, Torrence, is this a palette you recommend? I'm gonna say absolutely yes. Now, the thing is, I'm gonna keep it honest with y'all and I'm gonna let you know why I personally think she's worth it. Because at $68, that is a lot of money. But anybody who knows multi-chromes knows that most brands who sell them usually sell them as individuals, and it is not uncommon to hear that a multi-chrome is costing you $20, $25 per shade. A lot of times when you hear about a brand saying, oh, we're gonna make them $15 a shade, they're usually having a sale. So for me, the fact that we get 4 for $70 was a beautiful price. Also, another thing for me, I've been playing with Blend Bunny lately, and I promise you all, it seems like they are getting better with each palette. My last tutorial, I posted about this palette here. This is the Lure, and when I tell you, this might have been the easiest one for me to work with. She was stunning. The thing is, this palette has a multi-chrome here. So if you are the type of person who's looking at it like, Torrence, $70 for one palette, I'm not sure I can do that and only get 4 shades. I say test out this one first. That way you can test out multi-chromes, mattes, and shimmers from the brand and see if it's worth going up to multi-chromes. But I know this is a really big claim, and I'm not sure who's all gonna agree with me, but I'm just gonna put it out there. You gotta take my word for it. When I tell you, I have all of the Blend Bunny palettes. I have them all. I may not have tutorials up for them all, but I'll leave the playlist right here. Out of all of them, this one here easily has the best shimmer formula they've ever done. For me, I find that with Blend Bunny, I get the best pigmentation, the most shine, the most sparkles when I apply their shimmers to the lid with a silicone applicator. I'm someone who's not a big fan of using my fingers simply because I have nails and I have a higher risk of gouging a shadow. So I usually always use a silicone applicator with theirs. You saw today, I didn't even pull it out. when we went in to blend her out like she was a matte, she got it done with the natural hair brush. When we went in and packed her on the lid with the natural hair brush, she got it on. So to know that it gives me options that I feel as if weren't quite the same in the previous palettes, with the other palettes, could I use my natural hair brushes? Yes. But I felt as if it was not quite as easy as a silicone applicator. So to know that I can go back to my comfort zone and these shine and perform like that, I promise you, she's beautiful. And the second thing that I know for many people, it may not matter to you, you may not care, but I also leave my playlist up here for my entire collection. I am someone who has over 600 palettes in my personal eyeshadow collection. And when I tell you, I was shocked to realize this is the very first all multi-chrome palette that I have now. Every time a brand has put out a multi-chrome palette, or what we'll just call a chrome palette, it's always been a mixture of dual chromes and multi-chromes. I even have some palettes where it was all multi-chromes, but they were individuals that I created myself. I had to buy each little shade and buy an individual palette to store them in. This is the first time I've ever gotten multi-chromes all in one place with a mirror, fabulous formula, permanent, and I was able to do an entire eye look. First time in my life, first time on the channel, and she is gorgeous. Like, look at the shine, look at the shift. Even from a distance, you see that purple brow come through, then she turned gold. That inner corner, although she's supposed to be purple, and from some angles she looked the darkest, and other angles she turned that yellow, so she's the lightest. This blue, green, yellow on the lid is just, it's playing tricks on the eyes. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and I know you all are gonna go crazy over it. So I just want to say, one, thank you, Mr. J, for the donation to the channel. Because of you, I was able to get these palettes up for the Lure and the Trove palette. I want to say, two, thank you to Blend Bunny for allowing me to get access to these items. I did pay for these items, but I was able to get them purchased before the launch to ensure that I had them up for you all. And third, I would like to say thank you to each and every one of you who supported the channel. When I tell you, over the past week, I've seen numbers that I've never hit before. To know that I have a short that literally hit over 2,000 views in less than an hour was like, I have videos that haven't hit that number in over a year, but it's starting to show me that when I'm really grinding, putting in more energy, more effort, adding a little more details like foundation matches in the bottom, doing things like posting swatches for reference for you all, it's really becoming helpful. You all are really appreciating it, and I'm appreciating the love and support. And because right now it is rather late in the afternoon, like it's saying it's 8:55, so I need to go ahead and turn this off because I want to get this up for you all tomorrow. I am going to go on Snapchat tonight, post a sneak preview so you all can see what's going on. But in order to get that going for you all, I have to cut this camera off. So I hope you all truly did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, leave me a comment down below about which palettes you all have from Blend Bunny. Once again, I have every palette they've ever released. So if I do not have a tutorial up for it, leave me a comment down below letting me know which one you want to have up next. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to which one next. So I think I'm going to just post a poll and ask you all which one you want to see. It makes more sense to do what you all want to see instead of just playing and posting anything. But I'm going to keep on talking. I already know that. So we're going to shut our face here. And with nothing else, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye, YouTube.